Today's video is brought to you by jinglemining.com, cryptocurrency mining hardware supplier and vendor that sells specialized equipment or ASICs to large-scale operations and all the way down to the small at-home miner. They offer products that allow you to mine various cryptocurrencies and algorithms so that way you can earn passive income. If you want to learn how, click the link in the description, jinglemining.com. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech. Welcome back to another episode of Caffeine Crypto, where I welcome you to join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice, energy drink, or otherwise, coffee. If you don't like caffeine, drink some damn water. As we go over some cryptocurrency news. Market took a hit last night. Well, not last night. Market took a tumble. Let's just say that. We're out of that 24K range. About to break out of 23,000 range. Unfortunately, but Bitcoin down 1.5%, Ethereum down 0.3%, BNB 0.6. It's just a lot of red, except for if you're in stable coins or a few extra projects that are dark green. Few projects that are really dark green. Can't see them though. SSV, VEI. The hell is that? Oh, QuickSwap. QuickSwap's still doing good. That's nice to see. And then a bunch of other shitcoins that you got to zoom in really far to see what the hell they're doing. So nothing notable. Let's just say that. Nothing notable. Over the past 24 hours, I think we shed about $20 billion. But before that, we were at like 40 billion. Maybe even 50 billion, to be honest. Let me check that real quick. BTC. Let's see, yesterday. Start from here. Yeah, 20 billion. Give or take, 20 billion. So, market's down. Obviously, that impacts profitability. And of course, everybody and their mom was talking about how Conflux was pumping, and it did the exact opposite. And it always happens. Every time everybody starts talking about, oh, this coin is pumping, and it takes a shit, which is exactly what happened. But it did go pretty, like, straight up for a while. That's a pretty crazy wick for this week. Well, I guess over the past week leading into this week, you know, Conflux went from 5 cents to literally 37 cents and has dropped down the profitability charts once again due to increased interest in miners and difficulty and stuff like that. So not as profitable. What's up, Rudd? Gandalf Gray? Wealth Talks. Good to see you. I haven't seen you before. Village BC, maybe I've seen you before. Joannis. Dan, how you doing? Dan Ruggs, POS. Retro Mike. Crypto Mikkel, thank you for coming over. Crypto Bedell. Automatic Beats. And Crypto Craig. Appreciate you. So, the Jump Crypto, I believe Jump Crypto and Oasis trading firm strikes back, recovers 140 million stolen in crypto from wormhole hack. Basically, they exploited themselves, which is, I think, is kind of funny, right? So they had to exploit themselves in order to get it back. But Jump Crypto, the Chicago-based crypto arm of Jump Trading that helped develop DeFi project Wormhole, has managed to counter-exploit the Wormhole protocol hacker and retrieve 140 million worth of tokens. According to a recent blog post, a coordinated effort between Jump Crypto and Oasis, which develops multi-signature wallet software, led to the recovery of certain assets involved with the wallet address associated with the exploit in general. While Oasis and White Hat Group While Oasis said a White Hat Group helped the project in the endeavor, blockchain data suggests Jump Crypto might have had another party, as the ownership of the wallets involved a counter exploit has been traced back to the company. Oasis reveals that on February 21st, it received an order from a High Court of England and Wales regarding it to take steps to retrieve certain stolen assets. DeFi platform, which was which the attacker relied upon during one-step attack, said a white hat group reached out to the team with a plan that showed it would be possible to retrieve the assets and provided a proof of concept on how it could be achieved. What occurred on February 21st, 2023 was only possible due to a previously unknown vulnerability in the design of the admin SIG access. Oasis said it returned the funds to an authorized third party and that it retains no control over the funds. We can also confirm the assets were immediately passed onto a wallet controller by the authorized third party as required by the court order, it said. The hackers stole 120,000 Ethereum tokens worth $321 million at the time from the Wormhole cross-chain bridge in early 2022, marking the fourth largest crypto theft of all time. However, this was not the only major hack of the past year. In fact, the crypto industry has lost, and we know all about how much it's lost, $4 billion in total assets of hacks, fraud, scams, rug pulls in 2022, with 5 major exploits totaling $2.361 billion alone in the Web3 ecosystem. Such as the Axie Infinity or Ronin hack. Moving on, Optimism price predicts a Coinbase prediction as Coinbase launches a layer 2 network using Optimism tech, OP to the moon. So obviously, let's go check out OP real quick. This was a pretty hot topic that everybody was fondling themselves about. Can I say fondling themselves on YouTube? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So, I mean, realistically, you know, since about the end of December, literally about the end of December, you know, OP has been on a nice uptrend and looking pretty good. You know, it was below $1 before 2023, and now it's sitting around $2.77, but it hit a high in 2023 of $3 and almost 30 cents. So it's been on a steady track. So news like this tends to give it a nice little boost. And of course, when this news broke this week, you know, we were at like $2.50 and went all the way up to that almost $3.30 high. The Optimism price has shot up 11% in the past 24 hours, boosted by the news that Coinbase will be launching its own layer 2 network for Ethereum using the Optimum base technology. At $3.14, it has risen 20% in a week and 58% in the last 30 days, with the growing usage of Optimism network itself also helping support the gains. Coinbase uses the Optimism open source OP stack for developing its layer 2 sidechain and could help boost Optimism's ecosystem significantly in the coming months, particularly with Coinbase now joining Optimism as a core developer for the latter development stack. And the growth of Ethereum has also helped boost the usage of Optimism native token OP, yada, yada, yada. OP chart reveals that the altcoin has begun what could be a very significant rally. Firstly, in a 30-day moving average, the red of this chart that they have here below us, has recently risen over 200-day moving average, suggesting a breakout that has really only just begun. So they're expecting more upside for Optimism in general, considering the news between Coinbase and you know, what's been generally happening. Of course, it's down today, just like much of all the other cryptos out there. We can see that they're basically following the same chart. So that's Ravencoin, ADA, Solana. You know, it's just following the same track as Bitcoin. And what we're really looking for, if you really want to be bullish, is a decoupling of crypto from the traditional stock markets. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're hoping for. So Dan Ruggs, POS, asks, do you trade? And if so, where do you prefer? So I talked about this before, but I use, so obviously manual trades, you know, I just Coinbase, any exchange that does support America, because I'm in the United States. I can't use Binance. Binance US is available, but it doesn't have everything that I want on it. Neither does Coinbase. So it kind of depends on what asset I'm going after. But I use 3 commas, and there should be a link in the description to 3 commas, and that's an algo trading bot. Now, there is paid versions, right? There are paid versions, but I just used the free version and one DCA bot that's a multi-bot. and then I let it ride. I just let it ride. I don't have it to where I can show you, but I'll do a video on it in the future if you want, just to give you guys an update and see how it's been doing. It's been doing pretty good. I mean, $1 here, $1.74 there, $2.10 there. You know, it adds up, obviously. You know, I don't have thousands of dollars to play with, unlike some people. But, you know, what I'm doing with this is I'm taking mining rewards and then I'm accumulating other assets that I believe in to kind of stack those cryptocurrencies for the future. But yeah, 3 Commas is a algo trading bot. This is constantly running in the background without any intervention from me. And then I, you know, do a little bit of trading on Coinbase. I played around with Kraken. Obviously, I don't have any funds on Kraken right now, considering the Earn program has been shut down. But yeah, Coinbase, maybe a little bit of Binance US. I was with Bittrex, but then they pissed me off, so I stopped using them a while ago, especially for my Zcash profits. If anybody remembers mining Zcash back in the day. Gemini, never really messed with. Bitstamp, Bitfinex. Gate.io has 1 or 2 cryptocurrencies that are only available on it, so I do have to play around. And Bybit, the team at Bybit hit me up. And if things go well, maybe they might be a sponsor of the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated because we need the help. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me know if it does not, sir. Or ma'am. No, it's Dan. It's got to be, it's sir. Yeah. If not, I mean no offense. So anyways, Optimism looking pretty good. Things looking pretty bullish for it. Actually, let's go back to that chart. I just want to see something. Let's see here. What is the biggest exchange for Optimism? I guess Binance. Let's go to the short time frames. 1 hour. Yeah. Right now will be good for a short time frame to put in a low long. Catch it back up around the $3.15, $3.17 mark. Short it back up and follow the wave. That won't be too bad if you had the funds to do that. But Solana, once again, Solana's always making the news, man. I don't know what these guys are going to do, but Solana Network stumbles, on-chain trading slows after forking incident. What the heck, man? These guys can't catch a break. So some validators are downgrading their software in an attempt to restore activity. Infrastructure operators of Solana Network rushed to right the struggling block. Oh my God. Infrastructure operators on the Solana Network rushed to right the struggling blockchain early Saturday after a tech issue throttled users' ability to trade crypto, transfer assets, and do anything on chain. Jesus, why do you have to write it that way? The blockchain started forking, creating a conflicting version of the transaction history and around, well, basically, I guess you could say 12:53 in the morning, New York time. According to Solana's Discord server, shortly after the validators, RAM began increasing while the chain's transaction throughput fell off like a cliff. Those tech troubles, and what's funny is Cardano had this happen to him. I don't think they identified the anomaly. At least I haven't figured out, I haven't heard that news yet. But Cardano had a blip. But the system was able to right itself back up and continue on, no problem. Whereas Solana had to have its engineers, you know, either on-site or remotely, go and fix whatever the hell was going on. So I think that's kind of crazy that Cardano and its system, how it's built, because they've been building for such a long time, was able to recover when there was an incident, right, where things fell off a cliff, but Solana can't. The tech troubles combined to effectively freeze nearly all on-chain activity on the Solana network, and by 2 a.m., the network was processing about 93 transactions per second, well below the rate of 5,000 transactions per second some 15 minutes prior, according to the data site Solana Explorer. It was a crisis remnants of the chain's rocky tech incident in 2022, where a series of halts and slowdowns prompted reforms to how Solana manages inbound traffic. Saturday's incident had no immediate culprit, though validator operators and network engineers suspected a bug in the new version of Solana code that had come online hours before. Without a definite bug to squash, some validators began downgrading to the previous versions in the hope of reviving Solana's throughput, said the pseudonymous Soulblaze, who runs a liquid staking pool and is active developer in the circles. Later, Solana employees began advocating for the downgrade too. Within hours of a supermajority of validators, which had switched back to the old software in an attempt to restore its operation on Solana, but it did little to solve the still unknown problem that was weighing down performance. The effort then turned to a more drastic solution, restarting the chain to the point immediately prior to the forking. Coordinating a restart attempt means the chain will be offline completely, which is always the last resort, says Soulblaze. So once again, Solana having some trouble. That's quite unfortunate. Fed increased focus on cryptocurrencies, and we've seen this, right? So we've been talking in Discord. I know some of you have been around speaking with colleagues, probably friends, family members in person. And we're seeing an increase in our government, in our crypto world, right? We're seeing they want to be involved, but they also seem like they want to control it. And we know that they can't control everything, and that makes them frustrated, right? It's like the controlling girlfriend or boyfriend that has to have every control on every single thing or aspect that you do, and they get frustrated when they can't complete that or they can't do that. The Fed is taking an eye, right? We've seen it with Kraken, $30 million fine. We see Paxos come under fire. We see a number of agencies take notice, and right, Coinbase fighting back on Twitter, or at least Brian Armstrong, not Coinbase, fighting back on Twitter, at least verbally, not in any meaningful way. So I think we'll continue to see this, but it's not just here in our state. In the United States, it's going to be throughout the rest of the world. And it's very important that we continue to engage with our local politicians and regulators, and be in the topic if possible, helping educate. Obviously, educate with facts, not opinion, but we want to make sure that we're in those discussions and trying to affect change at the government level. But Fed increases focus on crypto, alerts banks to liquidity crisis. Continuing its increased scrutiny of the crypto industry, the U.S. Fed released a new statement on Thursday reminding banks of the risk inherent in dealing with cryptocurrency and related assets. Certain sources of funding from crypto asset related entities may pose heightened liquidity risk to banking organizations due to the unpredictability of the scale and the timing of deposit inflows and outflows. Agencies joining the Federal Reserve in the bank crypto warning are the Federal Deposit Issuance Corporation, or FDIC, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC. The Federal Reserve highlighted the cryptocurrency's market volatility, the risk of bank runs. Well, when you incite fear, people are going to run on wherever their assets are to pull that crap out. As in the case of Terra USDT. Well, okay, so you're using older examples to scare current users. There's always going to be stablecoin, the risk of stablecoins depending from the whatever they're connected to. There's always going to be that risk, especially if the system isn't built well. But stablecoins depending from the dollar, dislocation, periods of stress and customer panic due to market events, media reports, and uncertainty. The media has a big part to play in this, by the way. Usually when there's a fear, run on the bank, there's a lot of fear, and the media does not fucking help. They do not help. Because what gets the clicks and what gets the views is to reiterate or keep pushing out the same fucking story, even if that same fucking story is causing more harm than good. The stability of such deposits may be linked to demand for stablecoins and the confidence of stablecoin holders in the stablecoin arrangement and the stablecoin issuers' reserve management practices, the agency wrote. These guys suck at this shit. The group also advised to be on the lookout for crypto companies that inaccurately or misleadingly represent their deposit issuance status. Basically, what we saw with FTX. The FDIC opened an investigation to bankrupt crypto broker Voyager, which, by the way, Voyager Digital was working to have Binance US picked up their assets, right? Because they obviously have a bankruptcy claim. They're insolvent, blah, 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 blah. The users for Voyager were probably excited, and this isn't the first time, right? Because Voyager had a game plan in effect to where assets would be picked up, and therefore the users that are being affected by this bankruptcy had some sliver of hope that they would get their funds back, and that was crushed. And again, it's being crushed because the SEC, the Federal Reserve of New York, has said that, because they're basically selling unregulated securities, right? You can't, you're claiming bankruptcy, and now you're trying to get rid of your illegal unregulated securities onto another provider, which would just cause Binance US to be the next target in the stage of things. So unfortunately, Voyager personnel impacted are not seeing any type of relief anytime soon. But the agency accused a Toronto-based crypto firm, which is Voyager, of marketing all depositors covered by the FDIC insurance, which I pointed out to my friend with Celsius. He asked if they were insured. I said, no, they are not insured. Whoever tells you they're insured, they're full of crap. But Celsius didn't promote itself saying that it was FDIC insured. It just said it had insurance or funds, reserve assets to cover XYZ, which obviously they didn't, which is why we're in this position. But Voyager did the same thing, but instead marketing itself or to its depositors that it was covered under FDIC insurance through a partnership with the Metropolitan Commercial Bank, Voyager banking partner. But the FDIC said only Metropolitan Commercial Bank was insured, not Voyager. Right? So it's just like taking a label off of one thing and putting it on yours, right? Just because you put a Type S badge on your Honda Civic doesn't mean it's a Type S. On the other hand, the collective warning also seemed to stress that dealing in crypto doesn't require an entirely separate slate of controls that traditional finance. The statement reminds banking organizations to apply existing risk management principles. It does not create new risk management principles, the Fed wrote. Banking organizations are neither prohibited nor discouraged from providing banking services to customers of any specific class or type as permitted by law or regulation. Talking about, it's just warning the fucking banks, all right? It's just warning the banks to be careful with blah, blah, blah. And I can understand why. I definitely can understand why. But if the banks and the people that are running these organizations are not playing smart, then they're going to get wrecked. They're going to get wrecked. Why are you trying to, well, it's capitalist society. What am I saying? I know the answer. It's a capitalist society. They want to get rich quick. They want to drive around on their yachts and their Lambos and shit like that. Hell or high water. Screw the average investor or retail investor, the average individual, the blue collars. We don't care about them. They're just a bunch of numbers to us. Give us your money. We'll be fine. Fuck you. Hang on to your own money. And I'm saying fuck you to the banks, not you guys. But anyways, U.S. regulators and Federal Reserve issued joint warning about crypto liquidity crisis. The same thing, talking about the OCC, the FDIC, the Fed, whatever, warning banks about a liquidity crisis. Be careful, run on banks, blah blah blah, fear mongering. And that's been a lot. That's been a lot going on lately. There's been a lot of fear mongering going on, from Charlie Munger to a number of key individuals in the space. There's been a lot of mockery, right? And what's funny is the principle, the underlying technology in blockchain is good. Everything is sound. There is the users, right? The SPFs, and the various owners who mismanage their risk, right? Their assets and liabilities, that kind of make a bad name for all of us. But the whole point of Bitcoin was to bank the unbanked, right? If you don't want to keep your funds in the bank, right, from the 2008 financial crisis where banks were going bust and other banks had to go and bail them out and people were losing significant sums of money, if not all of their life savings, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, gives you the opportunity to store your wealth yourself. So that way, if there is a situation, an economic downturn or what have you, then you still have funds, right? Just like I tell my mom, and I know I've told you guys a couple of times, when the stocks go bust or the stocks go down to zero, they get liquidated. Therefore, you no longer have any of those stocks of XYZ company. However, if Bitcoin goes down to zero, you still have the fucking Bitcoin. It might be 0.002 Bitcoin, but you still have it, right? You will still have that Bitcoin, and then it's just a matter of what is the world value that cryptocurrency at that picks it back up. I think right now the cryptocurrency market is undervalued, but we'll see how things pan out in the long run. I'm playing the long game. I'm still too young to retire. I would love to ride off into the sunset with my Porsche and my lady, but not yet. I got a lot of work to do, and still going to be a lot more time before I get to retire. But again, we're not the only ones. So now this is talking about the EU, the limitations of the EU, the EU's new cryptocurrency regulations. I haven't looked into this. It looks pretty freaking long, but let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. First, I'm gonna turn to chat, and thank you for all my my current viewers for hanging out with us. My live viewers, please do me a favor, hit the like button. And if you're a new user, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell to stay up to date with the channel. We go over Caffeine and Crypto usually every Saturday. I missed last Saturday due to COVID, but I'm back up and running, baby. And I will always constantly pump out content for you guys. It may not be the hottest stuff. It may not be the juiciest stuff. It may not be the most dramatic stuff. But it is stuff that I find informational or that might help a single user. And as long as I can help one of you, I am happy. All right, so Dan Ruggs, USDT, it's all there. Let's see, Gandalf Great, Charlie Munger, who also said BYD is better than Tesla. China stocks have garbage lately. Chili with a $20 donation. Thank you very much, bud. Holy smokes. Thank you for trying to help me retire. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Not yet, though. Not yet. Whoa, DJ Mines is in the live chat, too. Wow, Paul D. The guy that comments on all my videos really, really fast. Thank you, Paul D, for being the first. But you weren't the first today. Were you the first today? No, you weren't the first today. Thank you very much, Chili, for the $20 donation. Chili's you don't know how much Chili does in the background, guys. It works with a lot of various individuals, personnel, cryptocurrency projects. Obviously, we got, Octominer, which is well known in the mining space. But there's a lot of stuff that Chili works on that I don't think he gets enough credit for. So appreciate the $20, man. And let's continue on with the news. So the limitation of the EU's new cryptocurrency regulation. The final vote of the European Union's much-awaited set of crypto rules known as the Markets in Crypto Assets, MiCA, regulation was recently deferred to April 2023. It was not the first delay. Previously, the European lawmakers rescheduled the procedure from November 2022 to February 2023. The setback, however, was caused solely by technical difficulties, and thus, MiCA is still on its way to becoming the first comprehensive plan for European crypto framework. But that will happen only in 2024. Whereas during the second half of last year, when MiCA text had already been mostly written, the industry was shaken by a number of shocks, provoking new headaches for the regulators. There's little doubt that the industry, as a dynamic, as crypto, the whole time, blah, 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 whatever, okay. All right, you're just fluffing up shit. Okay, one main blind spot with regard to MiCA is decentralized finance. The current draft generally lacks any mention of one of the later organizations and technological firms in the crypto space, and it surely could become a problem when MiCA arrives. That certainly drew the attention of Jeffrey Blockinger, General Counsel of Quadrate. Speaking of Cointelegraph, this is what they say. If DeFi protocols disrupt the major centralized exchanges as a result of broad loss of confidence in their business model, new rules could be proposed to address everything from money laundering to customer protections. Then we have Bittrex Global CEO Oliver Lynch also believes that there's a global problem with DeFi regulation and that MiCA won't make an exception. Lynch said that the DeFi is inherently unregulatable and to some degree even a low priority for regulators, as the majority of customers engage in crypto mainly through centralized exchanges, right? Your FTXs. But there is a lack of distinct section dedicated to DeFi doesn't mean it's impossible to regulate, says Terrence Young. The yield-bearing, lending, and borrowing collateralized cryptocurrency projects are things that investment and commercial banks are interested in and should be regulated similarly, says Yang. In that way, the suitability requirements as formulated in the MiCA can actually be helpful. For instance, DeFi projects may potentially be defined as providing crypto asset service in MiCA's vocabulary. So he's saying that it can apply. So it's about clarity. And so if these new rules were written before FTX and doesn't really cover DeFi, I wonder if they're going to go back and amend it. Yeah, because the staking situation is a real turnoff right now. And I'm probably going to do a video about that, about staking responsibly. But, you know, there are certain ways to where you, the end user, can stake your assets with a little bit more security, a little bit more, you know, you can sleep at night, basically, instead of relying on a central organization, you know, like Kraken, BlockFi, whatever it may be, whatever yield platform. And DeFi, the DeFi space, the lending and staking there, that one is a little bit hairy. I don't know how regulators, because I'm not a regulator and I'm not a politician, I'm not a tax professional. That's going to be something they're going to have to figure out. That's going to be fun. You know, honestly, if we know anybody that's really good in the political landscape and regulator, I would love to have them on the channel to talk about lending and staking, you know, whether it's in DeFi or in the centralized exchanges. That would be very interesting to have, especially the NFT arena. But it looks like there's some cause for optimism. MiCA was largely met with moderate optimism by the crypto industry, despite a few rigidities in the text. An approach seemed generally reasonable and promising for the terms of market legitimization. With all the tumult in 2022, with the next generation of the EU crypto framework and the hypothetical MiCA 2 be more restrictive or crypto skeptical, the further delays MiCA have faced have only heightened the idle approach taken by the EU to introduce legislation that is needed now more than ever, particularly given the recent market events. And that's funny because, you know, they go after Kraken. What was it? So they went after some nameless exchange, and it was that meme where it's like SBF and FTX over here, and the government guy is like jumping in front of it as all these knives or whatever is coming in. And then it's like this no-name, they take down this no-name exchange, and then the same thing with Kraken. It's like we're focused on what happened with FTX and SBF and that whole situation. Three Arrows Capital, Celsius, and instead the action is slow, if anything, there. Yet you're going after these other things that nobody was talking about, that nobody really had concern about. So it would be nice if the governments would focus on those missions. Focus on the centralized exchanges first. You know, hey, if you want to run a centralized exchange, you got to have X, Y, Z, right? If you're gonna take in your custody, you know, 32 billion in assets that are customer money, then you need to have, 40 billion on the side, not touched, in case there is a liquidity crisis, in case there's a run on a bank, in case if there's a detrimental situation, right? Like, in order to have this, you got to have this. Same thing like with your credit card debt. Same thing we teach our kids, right? Our individuals. If you don't have the money to buy it, don't spend it. Don't use the credit card if you don't have the money to buy it. But debt is king, and these people like to spend it, so they're going to continue to spend it if it's not if there's nobody over their shoulder making sure they're doing the right thing. India also trying to push to regulate crypto gains, and has U.S. support at G20. So again, not just the U.S. Number of countries are pushing forward with their I guess regulatory framework. I wish the U.S. would be the first to really kind of lay out that regulatory framework so the rest of the world could be on the page. But who knows? Maybe the EU's MiCA, because I haven't looked at it, is better than whatever the US had in mind. Or maybe the US is waiting for somebody to come out with a really clever regulation on crypto so that way they can implement it. Previous, no. No idea who the hell you are. Yeah. So, IMF exec board endorses crypto policy framework, including no crypto as legal tender. So that crypto not accepting cryptocurrency as legal tender is okay. I'm not butthurt by that. I'm not butthurt by that. As long as I have a way, an outlet, an off ramp and an on ramp to where I can spend my crypto, which I do, then we should be good to go. But the executive board of the International Monetary Fund has assessed a paper on crypto asset policy published by the fund and expressed in its agreement with its proposed policy framework. The paper titled Elements of Effective Policies for Crypto Assets developed the framework, the 9 policy principles that address microfinancial, legal, and regulatory and international coordination issues. The proposed principles were mainly quite broad, emphasizing analysts, monitoring, and guarding. Good. The paper explicitly says the proposal should be taken up to the directors. The final principle did not contain a concrete injunction reading safeguard monetary sovereignty and stability by strengthening monetary policy frameworks and do not grant crypto assets official currency or legal tender status. So some countries that have accepted crypto as legal tender, this is saying no. That is a no-go. The wide asset could undermine the wide asset. Let's hang on. I'm missing something here. The widespread adoption of crypto assets could undermine the effectiveness of monetary policy, circumvent capital flow management measures, and exacerbate fiscal risk. Not really. Oh, man. So anyways, regulation India, regulation EU, regulation US, and the Fed not really saving us. Moving on, let's listen to this. This shit's funny. I love this.
These photos show.
Hang on. I gotta turn on the sound for you guys.
These photos show the secret crawl space at the center of this investigation. That's where police say Nadim Nahas hid nearly a dozen computers, running a crypto mining operation around the clock, sucking power from Cohasset Middle High School. Nahas of Norwell was the town of Cohasset's assistant facilities director at the time. Investigators say he initially agreed to be interviewed by police and denied having any involvement with the mine when it was discovered, or social media posts about crypto that police say were on his Twitter account. But according to the police report, he then began sweating quite a lot and indicated he did want a lawyer. Crypto mining involves running high-powered computers, working continuously secure. Running a crypto mine isn't illegal. Now, Nahas was supposed to be arraigned on fraudulent use of electricity and vandalizing a school. He now also faces that warrant. We reached out to his attorney, but did not hear back for a request for a comment.
So, he used public school electricity to mine cryptocurrency. He didn't do too bad. So he's got the ASICs in a cooler, and then these vents, or these ducts, obviously cool air from one side, hot air for another. And being in a cooler, it muffles the noise. Being underneath the school muffles the noise. But once you get a number of them, right? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So about 12 ASICs. That's a lot. That's a decent amount of power. And these look like older ASICs. What are they called? S7s? Let's see here. Bitcoin S7. Yeah, they look like Antminer S7s to me. I could be wrong, though. So he's got a different power supply on it. No, those might not be S7s. They're definitely not What's Miner. Well, there's a What Miner. Those are What Miners right here. So there's What's Miners over here, and then these look like maybe some S7s or something. Very interesting. This guy found the place. Yep, yep. So that's funny. Golden Wolf says, "LOL." Right after Red Panda releases his food cooler, quieter ASIC box video, the guy found the last piece of the puzzle, and so this guy's a Red Panda watcher. This individual who stole school taxpayer money to mine Bitcoin follows Red Panda. I think that's funny. Good point. So we're got 20 minutes left on the stream for all my live viewers. We're going to continue going for all my viewers that watch this later on. This technically will be the kind of end of it. I thank you so much for watching. We're just going to BS, look around at some things, maybe look at some hardware together, talk, chat, all that good stuff. So if you are one of my viewers that are just here for the news and watch this later and not live, please do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. Make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out some of the links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. And again, this video and this stream was brought to you by jinglemining.com. Link is in the description. For all my live viewers, what the f is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? I'm excited for this one right here as my wife brushes her teeth ever so loudly in the back of my stream. Thank you, hon. My bathroom's right there.
Breath is everything, everybody.
I'm excited for this, but I don't think my wife would be too happy with me buying this right now. So this is the 7950X3D. We found out is not as fast. Like the 7800X3D is actually pretty damn good. 7900X3D pretty all right, but the 7950X3D is not as fast. Single core performance, stuff like that, IPC. But it's still a beast. So that's gonna be around $699. So $699 just for that. Motherboard, I'm looking like another $400. So that's $1,000 just for the CPU and the motherboard by itself, and that's not including memory. And you know me, I want to populate all 4 DIMMs, but I might do that over times. But that's an extra $200, almost $300 for DDR5 in the 6,000 megahertz speed range. So I want it, but I don't want it that bad. I really don't want it that bad. But they got some statistics here at 1080p performance. Obviously, using 1080p to put most of the pressure onto the CPU side rather than the GPU side. And you can see some rumored performance numbers. Now, I believe this is coming out the 28th, or there's a range, like from the 28th to something of March, the first week, maybe second week of March. You can see Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Are you getting ready to leave, baby?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you just say ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. So 237.75 versus 23 FPS on Assassin's Creed versus the 13900K. Borderlands 3, 317 versus 310. So some games, as always, AMD seems to have a little bit of an edge, but then Intel takes it back. 13900K has its perks, and a lot of people do like that CPU, even though it is a hot box. And you can see some of the relative pricing here for the 7950X3D, $699, 7900X3D, $599, and 7800X3D, $449. Now, the 5800X3D really took the gaming community by storm. It was a really damn good CPU, and with that extra cash, helped out with performance quite significantly. However, this generation doesn't seem to be as profound. It almost feels like the X3D part, at least the higher end, is not as good as its lesser sibling. And it might have more L2, L3 cache, but performance is not as profound versus one another. However, I'm still very much interested in it. I would like to have this system, but then I would need to sell what I have here, which I offered to a number of you already. The 5900X, the Z390 Tachi Razor. Baby, you out of here?
Love you.
Yes. Love you.
You have a great day.
You too, babe. And then the Crucial Ballistics 4400 megahertz memory. You guys should have seen it before. As you can't see nothing. Hang on one second. Oh, it's not hooked up. It's not hooked up. Shit. 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 Get out of it. You can't see it. The camera's not hooked up. I don't know why it's not. But yeah, you guys seen it before. It's in all my videos. But I would have to sell that in order to get this. So that means I'll be without a computer for a little bit, which is fine. It's okay. But you know, it would be an all AMD system because I still have the 7900 XTX in here. Ready to play some Hogwarts. Ready to play some Diablo 4. Right? Right? Diablo 4? No? Alright, whatever. So yeah. But let's see here. So this one says the 7950X with 3D V cache faster than 13900K. Depends again on the workload, the title. The 13900 KS beats a couple things. Look at that. And that's just in Geekbench performance. So wait for day one reviews, and we'll see how the performance really pans out. Now the laptop variant of these AMD CPUs seem very interesting to me. I'm gonna wait a little bit, see how they perform. I would like to upgrade, but I'm not ready to do so just yet. So I mean, my laptop isn't too bad. It's a 1660 Ti and a 9750H CPU, so 6-core, 12-thread. And it can get the job done. I use it all the time for editing over the network and stuff like that. But it would be nice to upgrade. But then, you know, that's $1,400 to upgrade my main system. And of course, something else I didn't consider is in this main system, I would need an eATX motherboard. So that means a new case. So that's something else I would have to budget for. So not really in a position to do that. Tax returns are coming. And I found something very interesting, by the way, for crypto taxes. Stay tuned to the channel for that. Probably be out in the next couple weeks that I'll share that with you guys. But yeah, anybody excited for any new hardware? I mean, the 40 series, I'm really more excited for the 4060. I'm going to see how the 4060 does. 4070, not so much. But, you know, you can see here. Did they really do two different variants? What? What? Why is there a 4070 10 gig, 12 gig, and 16 gig? Didn't we get on NVIDIA for doing this crap? What the hell? What the hell? I get bullied for my Intel CPUs. I loved Intel. I still love Intel. It's just I went with whatever the tech told me that was the best at the time. And the 5000 series was a pretty damn good setup. I remember, so I still have my 9600K. It's out there in the NAS. Then I went 7700, then 9900, and then 5900. So I went back to AMD as AMD has continued to do really well and actually compete, if not beat Intel. Will Intel respond? Hopefully, yeah. I think Intel has responded somewhat well. They got a lot of work ahead of them. They're not really blowing my doors off, but AMD is the one to go to. Like all my children, all my sons, all my children, soap opera. They have Ryzen 5600s. So 5600, B550 motherboard, memory, okay GPU. That's perfect gaming setup. You don't need much more than that. For me, you know, with some of the work I do in coding, editing, stuff like that, yeah, definitely could put the damn CPU to use. Anything else that sticks out to me? Anyways, let's chat, guys. Come on. What we got? Paul D, 17 cents per kilowatt hour in the mass. He will run up a nice bill. Talking about the school, the person stealing taxpayer money to mine some Bitcoin. Magic Lucky says, wouldn't it be funny if one of the criminals' coolers actually... That would be funny. If the cooler in the picture had an RPM sticker on it, or a DJ Mine sticker, or a chump change, or anything like that, that would have been hilarious. Confirmed. Don't steal from your local government, guys. Don't steal from your schools or your local government or anything like that. that's taxpayer money. I know technically you paid for it. I understand it, but like don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't get in trouble. I don't want to see you guys in trouble. I want to see you guys have some financial freedom and a better life for the future. I don't want to see you guys in jail. Let's keep an eye on the numbers. Oh, Ethereum's up 0.2% since the start of the stream. That's nice. Climbing back up to 1600. Bitcoin isn't at 1.5% down. It's only 93. But it's still at 23K. Let's see here. All right. 512 DDR for the win. DDR5 comes down a lot in the past year. Let's go look. Let's go look at some memory. I love G Skill, so I'm probably gonna be a G Skill snob. Let's turn that off. DDR5. Let's see here. Probably be that. No, 8 gig modules. Why clear? Can we clear all this? I didn't select any of this. Why are you being so difficult? What the heck are you doing here? Component storage, memory, desktop memory. DDR5. Apply. Thank you. All right, let me zoom in a little bit here. So the G Skill Trident Z, this new set's pretty cool. So let's see, what is this one? 169, 6,000. That's not too bad. 2 times 16. That's not too bad. That we could do that. Get 2 packs of those. So that's 170 a pop, 170 each. When we start climbing up the speed, 7,600 megahertz memory. What's the sweet spot now? Like 3,200 was good for DDR4. What's the sweet spot now? Isn't it like 6,400, something like that? Like if you're in the 5,000s, meh, 6,000, 6,200, somewhere in there is like a sweet spot. 66,000. Here's 6,400. See, this is the sweet spot. But that's $359 though. So you're better off going with 6,000 maybe if you can find. Is there a 6,200? Is there such a thing as 6,200? Current promotion. That Vengeance memory looks pretty good. And that's not a bad price. 154. That is not too bad at all. Let's see here. 6,400. That's not bad. 194. 2 times 16. Why is that so much cheaper? It's got to be the timings. What's the timings? Yeah, I'll probably go with that. Corsair Vengeance. Team T-Force Delta RGB. My boys have that. That's actually some pretty good memory. What's for dinner today? Oh, Rudd, I don't know, man. I could probably make some steaks. I got the you guys ever had, what is it? TGIF Jack Daniel's steak sauce. This stuff right here, the signature whiskey glaze that goes on top of your your steak. Really good shit, guys. Really good shit. So I might make some of that. Mashed potatoes, some broccoli and cheese. Some simple but hearty, you know what I'm saying? Simple but hearty. Don't assume that 2x dual channel kits are going to work out of the box even at DDR5 4800. No, you always want to check whatever motherboard manufacturer or vendor that you get. What I always do is if I go look up, let's go do one right now. Let's go look up AMD motherboards. Wait, are we on X6? Yeah, we're on 670. All right, let's say, for example, this Aorus Elite right here. What I like to do is I'll search it, and it should bring up the main product page. And now this is Rev 1, so pay attention if your board is Rev 1 or Rev 2, if there is such a thing. You come here, you go to support. Usually there's a support at the top. And then you go CPU support, and then you go to memory support list, right? Now, you're going to be presented with PDF, stuff like that. But this module information or these model numbers is very important. So let's go back to one of the memory kits. And you can see what that model is. Let's go here. And see, I'm pretty sure this is not going to be supported. But this number right here, F5, blah, 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 blah. Copy that, Control F, Control V. It's not on this page. Now, if we start taking off some numbers, it might be, but I don't think 7600 is on here whatsoever. So they have the 6600 kit right here. Let's go look up what that is. See if we can find that. And that is, yes. So these sticks, what was the thing that had on it? It was like a little sticker or something. Like AMD, AM5 approved or some shit. This is actually not a bad deal. So this is $189 for 6600 megahertz memory. So 32 gig kit, 2x16. Cache speeds are a little bit, but you know, as we climb higher, the latency obviously goes up. But always double check if whatever motherboard you get, that you're picking memory that is compatible with your setup. Now, they might be a BIOS update. And again, we come up here, downloads. We could choose our operating system. Where's the BIOS section? CPU support. Where's the BIOS? It'll be under download, but there it is, BIOS. You can see there's 8 revisions on this BIOS. This one was just released, actually. February 21st, 2023, checksum, updated AMD, a GISA code. That GISA code update is probably for the 7900, the X3D, the 7800 X3D, stuff like that, is probably what this code is for. So it will be compatible and available to use for that one. But yes, don't assume, like Paul D mentioned. So guys, getting ready to get the fuck out of here. Any last minute questions? Comments, anything like that. I'm sorry that I missed last week. I was just really sick. That COVID variant really kicked my ass, gave me a fever. I was down, bedridden for a few days, trying to fight the thing off, staying hydrated as much as I can with water. But I'm back. All right. I'm back. I'm sorry my content isn't blowing your doors off, but I really, really appreciate it. Even if the content does not intrigue you, because it's something that you might already know, the new miners, the new individuals may not. So it would be really helpful if you guys, even if you don't want to click it, that if you click the damn video, like it, share it, subscribe it, whatever, it would really help me out. All right, help me disseminate this information out to newer people or people that might not know what you already know. Okay? And continue to help others, because we're not just here in this world for our own selfish ambitions. Help each other out. Help thy neighbor. You can tell I'm a very religious person. Anyways. Will we climb back up? Yeah, most definitely. On the hourly, I say this is the bottom in the short time frame. This 2300 range looks like we got some heavy support here at 2300, 23,000. We actually put in a line, so we might pump back up. But there's a lot of fear mongering still going on, a lot of uncertainty and doubt and concerns and questions and stuff like that. Next key resistance level is going to be around that 22.8 and then that 22.2 that we might see in the shorter time frames. Obviously, if we zoom out and we go to the daily, you know, there are some areas that we could drop like a rock to. So 2100, somewhere in there, 21.5. And then if we're not held up by that, you know, we're looking back at the 19K range. And I'm sure a lot of people would love for Bitcoin to go down that low because they're just getting their tax return and they want to buy it up. All I gotta say is stack the sats. Don't steal from your local government or school or fellow taxpayer. Keep your head down. Hopefully electricity will get better. Hopefully mining profits will get better, but it's not looking like it's gonna happen anytime soon, unfortunately. So hang in there. We'll see how things go. Let's go check out the Mine the ASIC, also another partner of the channel, but not today's video sponsor. That is jinglemine.com. Dash Miner coming out in the future. Obviously, top of the charts, the K7. Top of the charts, K83 falling down. Not as profitable as it used to be. But a lot of these big boy miners costing upwards of 8 to 10 to 12,000 depending. It's absolutely crazy. But this one, very interesting. You know, Dash, Pcoin, Pura, Pack. Doesn't look like it has. Does it have stock? Let's see here. Any stock in here? Yeah, 8,500 for this bad boy. Pretty beefy. I would like a L7, but I'm not spending that kind of money. K7 is 5,300, and that's because it mines Nervos or CKB. Isn't Nervos CKB? No. Wait. What is CKB? Did I get that messed up? CKB. Yeah, Nervos Network. So I thought. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Do me a favor on the way out. Hit the like button. Make sure to get subscribed. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out some of the links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. And don't forget, Rabbit Mining is going live at 1 p.m. as usual for every Saturday. You guys have yourself a blessed day. Take care of yourselves. Check out Rabbit Mining later. Check out Chump Change later tonight. It would be nice to join them, but I'll probably be spending time. Take the wife out. You know, go have some time together. We haven't had time together in a while, especially since I've been sick. And you guys have yourself a wonderful day. All right? Take care. I'll catch you next one.
Introducing the Octominer OctoTank 12 Home Immersion Cooling System, the future of cryptocurrency mining and home heating. Quiet, cool, and efficient. The OctoTank 12 allows you to overclock your ASIC miners up to 70% to get more performance for your money. Compatible with up to 2 ASICs. Fully plug-and-play system. The immersion system ensures that your miners stay cool. Perfect for garage or basement heating. Up to 150 square meters of heating capacity. Clean and minimalist design. Fully weatherproof. Designed to last for years. Save money while keeping your home warm and cozy this winter. Order yours now.
As a crypto miner, you know you want your equipment to be high quality. Proper cable management is part of your mining rig, and the Veteran Miner has you covered. The Veteran Miner cables are created with the best materials to ensure they are of the highest quality. Our cables are made of 16 gauge tin copper, ensuring another layer of protection from oxidation and corrosion. We support our products with a 100% guarantee. Visit our website at www.theveteranminer.com and get the best cables for your mining setup.